Star Wars fans have been divided for quite a while now, especially under a Disney Star Wars, and it seems that Star Wars fans are almost more united than ever before, and it's all thanks to the brand new Star Wars upcoming show, The Acolyte. This has been something that has been coming for a while now, and finally they're going to release this thing this year in June. And I've been saying forever, this is going to be a mess. I mean, the showrunner of the show is quite controversial to have there running the show. And just the way that Disney Star Wars has been in general, it's just been bad. Nothing's been good anymore. It's been lackluster or just bad. And it's the brand has been damaged beyond belief. It is insanely crazy how much Disney has destroyed the brand and the franchise of Star Wars. And it's funny how, like, look, you go on Twitter and you're always gonna, or X, you go on there and you get to see some people always trying to defend Disney and Lucasfilm now for all this new stuff. They're always out there to defend them no matter what wrong Disney does. That's not really reality. I think at this point it's quite clear that Disney Star Wars is so disliked, and people realize it now. It's a widely accepted thing that we're probably gonna see shit here with the Acolyte and with Disney Star Wars. Ahsoka sucked. Mandalorian sucks now. Kenobi was garbage. Book of Boba Fett was garbage. The Bad Batch. The Bad Batch is just boring. It's all bad. The sequels, they butchered it. The first blow, the first big blow, the sequel trilogy, may just argue that was the only blow that really just killed it all. And now they're just pumping out this random shit every so often that's just poor quality and everything. And that trailer for The Acolyte also came out and it just didn't look good. I watched it and it just looked like the same cheap, nonsensical, non-Star Wars feeling garbage that we see with every single one of these shows. Every single one of these Disney Plus shows have not felt like Star Wars at all to me. I look at it and now I'm like, I could see through the bullshit. I just know that, you know, you put a bunch of lightsabers in this, it's not going to be Star Wars. It doesn't matter anymore. I mean, even you fucked up Kenobi. How much more can you really mess up at this point with these shows? It's like, yep, this is what we're going to get. This show, it's going to be bad. It's going to be really, really bad. And the trailer's quite telling. You know, it's seen a lot of people mention it's spot the straight white male game. Play that game while you watch this trailer, and it'll be a very challenging one. Diversity is the only thing that is on their minds these days, so that is very clear through the trailer. Nothing wrong with diversity when it's natural, of course, but we all know with Disney and Lucasfilm these days, it just isn't. And that's going to be a heavy focus for this show. And I think it will be going into the press and the marketing for this show as the actors and our wonderful showrunner of Leslye, Headland. I think that's going to be a heavy focus of their marketing, is talking about all this identity and identity politics and agenda in their show. I think that's going to be the general focus, and they'll never learn. So you go to the trailer and it's ratioed. It is a ratioed trailer, and generally when we don't actually know much about the show yet, we don't know what's going to happen yet, like, it could be good, and people generally give it the benefit of the doubt before it comes out. The trailers don't usually get ratioed all that much. They're usually fine. Eventually when they come out and people see how bad it is, that's when everyone starts to turn. At least with these trailers, like these first trailers and stuff, this time around people are done, man. This thing is ratioed from the first trailer, and it's because of everything that people already know about this. The showrunner of the show has made it very clear that she doesn't care about Star Wars. She has no desire to tell a Star Wars story. The trailer didn't look like it was part of Star Wars at all. And you can already immediately tell with their trailer that their one and only goal is to just have a diversity fest of just random diverse people. And that's it. And again, I've said this before, like, diversity's fine. It's always been fine. There's never been an issue with diversity. It's always been clear. Like, it's never been something that normal people are against. But when it's forced and it's unnecessary and it makes no sense to the story and it just overrules the story, it will destroy it all. And that is what has done to Star Wars. And I would argue that most of Disney Star Wars has just been bad. Like, it's not like woke, diversity, inclusion, whatever crap in it. It's just been bad. And I think this is just going to be another one of those really bad shows. So, you see the dislike ratio. But then you go to the comments, and everybody is just roasting the show in the trailer. Nobody's talking about the trailer, what's going on with the trailer, and what's going to happen. It's just people mocking the hell out of this show. It really is. It's all people are doing. What comes in your mind? Shareholder lawsuits, stock devaluation, Peltz getting on the board seat. Close your eyes. What do you see? Disney burning another 100 million. And then you got one right here saying Jedi Master. Close your eyes. What do you see? Leslye Headland. Harvey Weinstein giving me a double-sized payoff to keep my mouth shut. And that's another big issue with this show. The person that they have hired for this show has very rarely been widely known now for a while as someone who was apparently like a personal assistant to Harvey Weinstein. If you know Harvey Weinstein, that name's been thrown around quite a bit as not a good dude. And yeah, that's not a good name to have yourself attached to. And going into this show, having her name very closely attached to his name like that is definitely going to be used against them. And go for it, man. This is who Disney hired. This is who they hired. They bring her in. She's going to do whatever the hell she wants with her queer activism. And people are going to throw this at them. And it's valid, I think. So you go to any random post recently about the Acolyte. You go into the comments and you can just see that the only discussion is how shit this show is going to be. It's hard boycotting Disney Star Wars, but this crap makes it easier. And then the post initially said the force is strong with the Acolyte as the trailer breaks Lucasfilm records. For this? So is this the record they're breaking? Massive amount of dislikes, just as I showed before, is the dislikes on the actual trailer. It's ratioed. Is that the record they're talking about? For most dislikes, weird flex, but alright. Disney is allergic to having a white protagonist. You go into the pictures here, you got people memeing on the actual poster itself. There you go, you got some GIFs there that are related to what I just mentioned a little bit ago. Someone says, no thanks, we'll be watching Spaceballs instead. It has more dislikes than likes. And again, this is all just on one post. They have multiple posts now about the Acolyte, and I think it's only going to get worse. I really do. And then you got pages like End Wokeness, which is generally covering all the woke stuff going on in the world and whatnot. They're not generally like an entertainment space that talks about this stuff. So the post that they made isn't necessarily all correct. They're talking about Leslye Headland here, and it says LGBTQ activist Leslye Headland is the new director for the Star Wars franchise. In her goal for the films, which is actually the Acolyte, it's a series on Disney Plus, is to make LGBTQ inclusive and similar to Disney fairy tales. So that's her goal, is just to make everything inclusive and LGBT and everything's gay, everything is diverse now, and that's her goal for the show. And look, I can't officially say it will be because we haven't seen it yet. But we've seen the trailer, we've seen her comments, and it wouldn't be surprising as if it is. And Disney Star Wars in general has just been bad lately. So it's all just accumulating into this one general consensus that this is probably going to be shit. He even got Elon Musk commenting in on it, saying reality is actually crazier than the South Park parody. And I think South Park did a parody on Disney in general and Kathleen Kennedy a little while back. But, you know, I don't normally make videos like this all too often. I just kind of like to review things, talk about what I like and dislike about certain episodes and shows and whatever that come out, because, you know, I try to give my opinions on this, and I think the Acolyte is one example of something that is upcoming that is just such a clear disaster for the franchise. And, you know, Star Wars is just, this is what it is. This is Star Wars. I mean, it has been this way for years now with Disney. And it seems like they have no plans to necessarily correct course in any way. They're just going to keep making random shit. Honestly, I don't think this show's going to be any worse than any of the other bad stuff we've seen. Like, I don't think it's going to be like, it might be the most talked about bad thing because of just all the little pieces that stitch together for a perfect story of just how bad Disney Star Wars is. But in general, I don't think this show is going to be any better or worse than a lot of the recent shows. I think it's just going to be very basic. I don't think it's going to feel like Star Wars. I think it's going to heavily focus on things it doesn't need to. It's not going to feel like it belongs in Star Wars. And that's just the downfall of all of these shows. And The Acolyte, I will be covering it. I will review this show. I can't say I'm looking forward to it, but I will give my takes on it. I will go through the episodes, and I don't think it'll be good, but I will certainly check it out. But yeah, The Acolyte is uniting Star Wars fans right now, and I just think it's hilarious. I needed to talk about it a little bit. Okay, I mean, there just seems to be a much wider realization these days that Disney Star Wars is just, the viewership. I want to see the next movie that comes out, because we got a Rey movie coming out, we got a Mandalorian movie coming out. I want to see what that box office will be on their first movie since The Rise of Skywalker. I am genuinely curious on how bad that box office will be for a Disney Star Wars movie. I don't think any of those upcoming movies that they have planned sound intriguing at all. Mandalorian movie no longer sounds intriguing after you butchered the show in season 3, so I don't care about that anymore. A Rey movie, not a single human being on this planet is looking forward to a Rey movie, except for Kathleen Kennedy. So they're doing that. So Disney Star Wars is saved, of course. Star Wars is going to come back and have a new era of greatness with that Rey movie for sure. But yeah, it's rough, and I don't know. My only question is, how long is this going to go on until they try to correct course? And I'm not saying, oh, they're going to correct course and then everything will get better. No, they're going to try to correct course and then it will just stay bad. No one's going to care anymore. It's going to be a dead brand. It's a dead brand even if they try to correct course at this point. It's just going to be a disaster. And the only way I think this could ever be saved in any potential is just to erase all of Disney's canon that they've done since they bought it. Just erase it all, even if there's good stuff. Erase it all, get it out of the hands of Disney, wait a little bit, and release a movie. Release episode 7, damn it. We want to see what happens after Return of the Jedi. That'd be kind of cool, hey? But yeah, until you do anything like that, I don't think Star Wars is going to be on a good path anymore. At this point, I'm just watching in curiosity to see what the hell they try to manage anymore with these shows and whatever. And Star Wars is in a rough place, but Star Wars fans seem more united than ever these days, that everything is just really, really bad.